No, I'll tell the concert and then we'll get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
So Chris and I, on a whim, Chris got me to go to. I'm sure he showed you, but you know, Motionless in White.
I know he's showed me them before. Yes.
Yeah. So they're like real heavy
Yeah.
shit, and it's like shit that I'm not usually into, but like I like their sound. It's odd. It's like normally I wouldn't be into that shit, but I like their sound.
That's
So
how
it
I
was.
felt. Go ahead.
It was them, and they were opening. They were the last opener for In This Moment. You heard In This Moment?
No, I've never.
It's a metal band with a chick fronting it, and I'll get into that because I have some comments. And opening for that was this shitty Limp Bizkit ripoff. Yes, a Limp Bizkit ripoff. They call themselves Dead, D-E-D. They were awful. Then the next was another chick group, and it was kind of like, Hailstorm?
Yes.
It was kind of like a heavier Hailstorm. It was really good.
Yeah.
Then it was that Motionless in White, and then it was In This Moment. But first, it started off with like these little chicks stripping to metal music. That was one of the openers.
Yeah.
And like you would think it would be hot, but
No.
it was at the beginning. But then the one bitch said, "I have an original song to do," and I'm like, "Oh God!" And the song was literally her rapping. It was her doing new metal. It was her rapping over a metal tune, talking about drinking 40s, and they're all white chicks, might I add.
No.
Yeah, and then like to make it better is when she's singing and she cannot sing, is the chicks come out and start stripping again, and like okay, so that was that. Then the shitty Limp Bizkit ripoff. Then the chick group that's a heavier Hailstorm. They were pretty good.
Okay.
Motionless. I was shocked. Like I said, I wasn't going into it thinking too much of it because I'm like I like one or two songs, and Chris has played me their other stuff, and some of it's too heavy for me. But that fucking show.
Was
They
really
put
good.
on a great fucking show.
I
It was
bet.
awesome.
And
And Chris told me a story before he went there. The last time they were there, he was pissed. He didn't like the Palace
yeah.
because it was at the Palace in Albany because he's doing this extreme metal show and nobody's moving. Everyone's sitting in their seats and no one's moving.
Yeah.
And he did a couple songs and
Well, it's a fucking like hall where you do like
yeah,
like classical shows or like
but still you could show a little enthusiasm. Apparently they weren't showing any enthusiasm.
exactly.
So he did a couple songs, and like this is the first time out of everybody that the whole place actually stood up out of their seats. Even In This Moment, who was the headliner, didn't get everyone out of their seats, but they got everyone out of their seats, and he didn't even have to ask. Everyone was just up because he just came out. They came out guns a-blazing with the fucking first song. It was insane.
Yeah.
And he did one or two songs, and then he did like how they break and they do their diatribes, and he's like,
Yeah.
you know what, Albany is like. This is the last show of the tour, and I really, really love all the bands that we're on, and we love In This Moment for having us. And like, so Albany was the last show,
Yeah.
and he goes, but when I saw this date, I'll be honest with you, I was not looking forward to it because I just thought Albany, they sucked. They didn't enjoy any of our music. Their crowds were shitty. But my favorite thing, and he goes like this, not many people will say this, but my favorite thing is to be proved fucking wrong. And the whole place went nuts.
That's awesome.
And then he goes, you guys have been so insane. I haven't had to say once for you to get up out of your seats or to move or to put the fists in the air. You guys were right along with it. You were doing everything. You shocked the fuck out of me, and we appreciate it, Albany. I take back everything bad I said or thought about you.
Yeah.
And the place went nuts, and like even
That's
after,
awesome.
So he admitted all that, and after that, everyone got crazier. Like everyone got more into it because they were like, "Oh, he noticed us," and he said Albany.
Yep.
So he had a great set. It was about 8 songs.
Yeah.
And I literally said to Chris about 4 times, I was like, holy shit, they were good.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that I expected them to be bad. It's just I expected me not to be as into it, but they were good.
Yeah. That's how I was when I first started listening to a lot of metal and stuff like that. Like, my introduction was obviously like
The Chris's show.
Chris's show and stuff like that. And then I started developing my own tastes. Like there's a band called, I don't know if you know them, it's called Amon Amarth.
I know I'm out of month, yeah.
Yeah, and they're like that was like, I was like, holy shit, that's something that I really vibe with.
A lot of people like them. I'm not a big fan. I respect them as musicians, but
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. And it's just like I liked like I like how I'm like developing tastes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm no longer just listening to fucking Black Flag and stuff like that.
You and your punk.
Yeah.
So so Motionless was done, and then in this moment was the headliner, and it was late by this point. We got there at like 6, and it was like 11 o'clock. It was a Sunday night. Both Chris and I had to work the next day, and it was 10:30 when Motionless got off. No, it was 10 when Motionless got off. In this moment, didn't come on stage until 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
It took them an hour to set up. So, and then Chris and I looked at each other, and he's like, I don't think I'm going to stay the whole set. I'm like, neither am I. Just because, not even because of that, it's just because it's late and we're tired.
Yeah.
Then they go through a song. It was good. Then they got to pause every song because this was like a metal band. When I first saw them in 2012, before they were like any type of famous, they were on one of the small stages at like remember the Rockstar Uproar festivals that used to happen?
Oh yeah, that's right.
They were on one of like the small stages, so they couldn't do any of that theatric. They did 6 songs, and then the next band had to be on.
Yeah.
And they were good. It was great to see them live. It's chick singer who's actually from Schenectady.
Yeah.
She's from here. So this time, they had to set up all those theatrics, and then we had to pause another 5 minutes before the next song for theatrics to be set up. Then another 5 minutes for the next song, theatrics. Song was good. And this time, this next one was, of course, 10 minutes for theatrics. And then when we came back, she went into this 20-minute diatribe about her grandfather, because her grandfather apparently raised her, and how the song's about him. But like, okay, we get it, and we clap for a little, but we get it. But she spent 20 minutes basically repeating the same thing. And once she had nothing to say, she would, of course, do the, oh, if you have your phones, put your phones up for my grandfather, and like shit like that. And by the time Chris and I look at each other, and we're like, okay, we can't take it anymore. Can't. This band is a good band. Like, that's the thing. When they finally played the songs, it was good. She still she still had a great voice, however many years later. She didn't lose it at all. And the musicians were really good. But the fucking theatrics, they've kind of turned into like the heavy metal version of Kiss.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's when I start to lose steam.
And then it's like Chris said, he's like, I like that band. I do. But that theatrics and her talking and talking and talking, it's too much. Yeah. And the other thing is, Motionless and White had something similar. They had like a stage set up, like the lead singer's father designed like all that. Chris told me this. He designs their stage props.
Yeah.
So they had about 20 to 30 like pumpkins, because it was right around Halloween.
Yeah.
They had like a ghost, they had like a background, and a couple of skeletons, and they all lit up different colors.
Yeah.
And Chris said that his dad designed, so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But even all of that took them about 10 minutes to set up. They were the longest setup before the hour that was Motionless and White.
Yeah.
But then again, that was the only thing that was set up. They went song, 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 song. They didn't change the fucking stage. Literally, she would be on this altar like thing, and they'd have to tear that down to build something else. Each song. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh gosh.
That's my review, and that Motionless and White stole the show, and they should have been the headliner.
Yeah.
Like I said, they were good. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I get that.